Hello friends, it is Saturday. I'm filming this a little early. It's Friday afternoon, it's 3:38. I thought I would just go ahead and film my Sat Chat now because I do have a bunch more work that I want to do. My day got a little derailed because I started off with a to-do list, very good intentions. By the way, this is Sat Chat, so if you're just coming to this video out of nowhere and you've never watched a video on my channel, this is just the weekly wrap-up and we just chit-chat about what we've been up to during the week. You can let me know what you've been up to during the week in the comments below. This is not a tutorial. I'll talk about some upcoming stuff, probably talk about some stuff I've done this week, but it's probably not the best video to land on if you're new to the channel. You'd probably rather enjoy a tutorial or something like that. So without further ado, so I had a to-do list this morning and just different things I thought I could kind of like, a punch list basically, stuff I thought I could knock out today. I didn't have anything I absolutely had to get done today, but I had a bunch of different things that were almost done that I could finish up, you know, like some reviews I could finish up, different stuff like that. And also I had some things that I needed to get done for future reviews. So, you know, like I needed to get, I haven't done this yet, but I want to get an artwork done for Sketchbook Sunday. So I'll be using some markers in a sketchbook and I'm like, well, that'll be something I can work on. So anyway, because it's daylight savings time, I'm hungry really early, right? So I'm up early, I'm walking the dog early, I'm having breakfast early, and then I'm hungry early. I'm like ready for lunch at 10:30. So I'm like, no, make sure you gotta at least wait till 11. I think at 11 or like quarter of 11, I went upstairs and threw a potato in the microwave because I'm like, I want a baked potato with my lunch today. And then I could come back and work for a bit. So that's what I did. So I went upstairs, got my lunch. I had some a faux turkey cutlet with by Gardein, with some peas and a baked potato. It was delightful, cup of tea. And I put on the TV and I was watching this channel called Dabble. And we got Hulu with live TV like a couple months ago because my husband likes to watch football, and we didn't have cable, so we didn't have football. And so there's a channel on the Hulu with live TV called Dabble, and it has just a random amount of like has a lot of kind of like the stuff you'd see on HGTV, how it used to be. Do you remember like HGTV in like the late 90s when they had all the home decor shows like Christopher Lowell and stuff? Well, they have a lot of shows that are kind of like that, and one is called 60-Minute Makeover. So I'm having my lunch, I'm watching the 60-Minute Makeover, and this is a British show, and I think most of the shows on this channel are British, and they do like 3 rooms in somebody's house in 60 minutes. And they have a huge team of people, so obviously they have like, I mean, there's probably hours and hours and hours of labor because they have so many people working in there. But these houses are pretty small. The rooms are pretty small. And I'm watching this and I'm like, and it just kind of like hit me like an epiphany. They had this small, all their living rooms are really small and they all have fireplaces in them. And we have just been vexed about what to do with our living room. It always feels like we have too much furniture in there and the room's too small and the furniture's too big, and we have no sense of scale. When we go to a furniture store to buy a piece of furniture, we are terrible at determining what will fit in our house. I don't know what it is, but you get into a showroom and they're so big, and so the furniture looks normal, and you get it home and it's like a Bad Friends episode where you're trying to get your couch to the door and you're yelling, pivot, pivot. You remember that one? You know, that's what it's like. And so we have this honkin' recliner that's like a 3-person, it's a 3-seater, it's a huge couch recliner. We had a love seat to go with it. We actually put the love seat, Lila has that in her room, Jackson had it in his room before that. And we have a couple big club chairs. And it's just really difficult to find a way for this furniture to work. And I was watching the show, and they had this, so their fireplace is in the middle of the room, and it's very narrow. And they had like doors on either end. And I was just like, wow, it's hard. It's even worse. Like their rooms are even worse to fit furniture in than ours are. And I think our room, I don't know how big our living room is. I didn't measure it. I think it's probably around 12 by 16. I don't know. It's, we have a ranch, so it's like not quite half the width of the ranch because half would be the living room and half would be the kitchen. And then you go down the hallway and then there's like bedrooms and bathrooms on either side. So, I guess it's not a tiny room, but it's, you know, definitely not, for the size of our furniture, it's kind of small. And we have the front door on one wall and a huge bay window, so you're really limited to what you can put there. Fireplace on the short wall, and then we have our like a little corner entertainment center with our TV in that little corner between the bay window and the fireplace. Then on the long wall, we put a pass-through in when we did our addition, so we've got a big open window. big opening to go into the kitchen to like let light and air through, and when we run the fireplace to let the heat go through and stuff. And then on the other wall, the other short wall, there's a big archway also by the past wall, big archway. It's not even, I mean, it's almost like a half wall because, you know, we could put a couch up against it, and the couch comes up to about the pass through. And then we get the big archway to go into the kitchen or down the hallway, and then there's a coat closet on that wall. So, I mean, there's not a lot of places where you can put furniture. It's kind of frustrating. So we always have this kind of like dance hall situation where everything is pushed up against the walls. So it hit me today, why don't I take the love seat, or take the couch and turn it so it is in the middle of the room, but it is so when you walk in the front door, the couch would be over here. You could walk through the front door, walk straight to the kitchen and not run into anything. So the couch would be there almost making a half wall. And then have the furniture kind of like, have the two club chairs kind of like facing in the middle of the room, kitty corner. And then you've got the fireplace in the center. Then you get the TV over there. And so that's what I did. And then I'm like, well, while I'm at it, there's a bunch of scuffs on the wall where the recliner was, because, you know, when you have those big couches and you recline, they kind of hit the wall. And so, I mean, you have it a distance away, but it always kind of smacks up against the wall because you don't want to waste any space. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go find the paint. So I found the paint. I touched up the paint there. There was also another scuff on a wall where we had a wingback chair that's now in our bedroom. And so I touched that paint up. So I was going around touching up the paint. And then when I moved everything, I had to wash the floor because the floor is disgusting under the recliner. And then I realized that the floor had gotten kind of scuffed up by the recliner mechanics. So then I had to find some floor plates and I had to buff that out. And so yeah, my 60-minute makeover was a lot longer than 60 minutes, and I was just moving furniture around. But anyways, I think it looks pretty good. And I'll be curious to see what my husband says when he gets home, because I don't like to move furniture around when people are around me, unless I need help lifting things, because I don't want other people's input. I don't want naysayers, because I have an idea of how it's going to look in my head, and I want to see how it's going to look before I get feedback from anybody else, because I can always move it back if I don't like it, but I think it looks pretty good. And I was a little nervous to do this because I was really just passionate about moving my furniture around today, but I had somehow injured my back last weekend. I think it was like Friday I noticed my back was sore, and then Saturday it was really bad, like sick to my stomach sore. And Sunday it was, yeah, the last weekend it was really bad. I was taking a lot of ibuprofen, and which doesn't help if you're feeling sick to your stomach because your back hurts. And I think, Epsom salts. My sister said you got to have an Epsom salt bath, because whenever she did karate, her karate instructor would say, like, you know, you need to take an Epsom salt bath and that will like ease your muscles. And then I was wondering, does that really work? I mean, can I just throw a bath bomb in there, take a bath? Is that like all it is? But there's magnesium in the Epsom salts, and you know what? It does work. Oh my word. So the magnesium like soaks in through your skin, and there's something about the magnesium like heals your muscles. I don't know, but it worked pretty well. I'm feeling pretty good today. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite me in the rear like later tonight. I hope I don't. I mean, I can feel it. My back's still sore, but it's not anything like it was last weekend. And I was able to move a hunkin' heavy recliner, so I'm hoping I haven't done any damage. Maybe it's that, you know, that when you get that like burst of energy, like they say, like a mother can like lift a semi-truck off of their baby, you know, because they get so much adrenaline. Maybe I just had this like, you know, DIY adrenaline going. I don't know. But anyways, I think it looks pretty good, and I'm just curious to see. So that's another reason I wanted to get the Sat Chat recorded early, so that like when I hear somebody coming home, I can run upstairs and I can see what they, I can see their faces as they walk through the door. I love that. That's my favorite part about those shows, when like the people come home and then they get to see like what they've done to their house. I love that, man. I think we need more shows like that. I really miss the ones that are like ones that real people could actually do, because it's like, if you get an extra $100,000 lying around and a team of qualified professionals, your house can look like this. No, I need to know what I can do with a can of paint and some old furniture You know, that's what I want to see. I used to love the Christopher Lowell, what was it called? Interior Motives. Love that. I had my first apartment when that show was on, and I had cable TV in my apartment, and which I thought was very novel because I grew up in the country where there was no cable. You couldn't even get cable TV if you wanted to. And that was a point in the 90s when the marbleizing trend was like really popular, and like the faux finishing trend was really popular. I marbleized everything in that apartment. Like things that should never have been made out of marble, I marbleized. And the ironic thing was I actually had a marble fireplace in that apartment, but I like marbleized my coffee table and my end tables and vases, and oh my word, I thought I was so chic. Man, that place. I wish I had pictures of that apartment because I'm sure I would find it quite comical, but I loved that place, man. It was just like, there was just something to look at everywhere you turned. Something to look at. I lived alone. So that could probably tell you a lot right there. It's just like me with no input from anybody else. That was my apartment. It was fantastic. So I enjoyed those shows when I come across them, and that channel Dabble seems to have a lot of shows like that. It seems like they're probably like 10 or 15 years old. I think the one I watched today probably was like 10 years old, which is fine by me because I'm kind of behind the times. And I love the whole DIY spirit. You know, it's like I want to make a change now. And something I've been thinking about, and this spurred me to try it, was I had these club chairs. I loved the way they looked, and they were like they were faux leather, a club chair. Christmas tree shop sold them, probably sold them. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think how old my kids were because Jason surprised me. He brought them home because he knew that I'd seen them in the flyer. I thought they looked really nice, and I was thinking I'd like to get one, and he actually bought two. And they're like a faux brown leather club chair, a pretty deep chair, and they have like the nail heads along the front. And they actually look pretty good, but the fabric started to break down, like the vinyl or whatever it's made out of, like on the armrests, like right where it's kind of like bent, where the fabric gets bent around the armrest, and just the seats were awful. The seats were completely wrecked. I don't know why. They cracked and were a mess. So I made covers for them last summer, and I just used like a knit burgundy fabric to match my couch, and then I wanted to get like a vinyl repair kit or something. I remember seeing those advertised. Do you remember like back in the 80s, like when everyone had vinyl upholstery, and they would have those infomercials on TV where like they would like spread this like stuff on the vinyl car seat, and then it would go bling, and then it would be like healed, and it would be perfect, right? And so I'm like, oh, I need some of that. But then it occurred to me that vinyl is essentially like a house paint or acrylic paint, that I decided that I could do, I could get paint. So I took my artist acrylic and I mixed it with textile medium, and I used a couple shades of brown and black and matched the color, and then I just went in and painted a couple coats of that on there. With a textile medium, it's going to be more flexible, so it shouldn't crack. If it does, it's not going to crack any more than what it was doing already, and I was able to seal everything up, and I think it looks pretty good. I wouldn't say they look brand new, but they're more of like a weathered look anyway, so definitely they'll look a lot better. And until I decide what furniture I might like to replace it with, it works. I mean, I hate that furniture is so disposable these days. That couch, the recliner couch that we have, isn't even that old, and the couch before that we had, you know, just basically fell apart, and we didn't have that very long. We had these really wonderful overstuffed velvet couches that we got at Martin's. Probably it was like $1,000, which was, when we bought the house, probably around it would have been 99, I think. And we had those until, let's see, I don't know, it was probably 10 years ago? I don't know, but they held up really well, and the fabric just started to wear on the sides, but we should have just probably had them reupholstered, but they again were huge pieces, because the bones were great. But we wanted something a little trimmer, so we bought a couch that was more slim and narrow, and I really liked it because it fit the room better. We had a couch and love seat, but it was just like particle board and cardboard on the inside. It just started to fall apart after a couple of years of just like normal wear and tear with a family of 5. Which, you know, when you have little kids, obviously stuff gets worn down easier. but yes, we had, so Jason and the kids went out and picked out the recliners, and I'm like, oh, whatever you guys want, I don't care. And they were just really big, comfortable though, but yeah, it's just like they just don't make it the way they used to. Oh, and in between the the second couch kind of falling apart and the other couch, we inherited a couch from my mother-in-law that I hated, and I painted, and I don't know if there's a video. Oh, that DIY don't. That's a DIY don't. It's a DIY don't. It's a regretsy for sure. It was bad. It was so crunchy and it hurt to sit on. I think it looked better after painting. I didn't have enough paint, and it was a sponsored video, and the company that was sponsoring the video didn't like the product didn't go as far as it should have, and I think it was probably that material. I should have requested more paint, but I was kind of in a time crunch, and speaking of crunchy, that was some crunchy fabric. It was awful. Oh, it was so funny because I said, well, I guess I'll never paint a couch again or a piece of furniture again, and Jason goes, oh, if only I could believe you, and I just painted some furniture today. So joke's on him. No, joke's on me. Who's the joke on? I don't know. Joke's on somebody, but anyways, we have some freshly painted furniture upstairs. Oh, friends, it's been a day. Oh, I did want to remind you that there's a live stream for this project on my YouTube channel this week. I posted, if you want to check that out. And I finished all of the projects for Hand Painted Holiday, so I added the 2021 projects. So if you are enrolled in that class, if you log in, you will see a new fresh batch of 4 cards and 3 tags, an extra 2.5 hours of content. And I will show you all of the projects. I'm just going to turn that down. So this one, very easy. Very fun. These are all using Inktense blocks, but if you don't have Inktense, you could use woodless watercolor pencils, watercolor crayons. You know, Trouch have first. That one was really fun. This one's really easy. And this one's really easy too, and we get to use I'll put the light back up because it's got some metallic to shimmer. We used some of the metallic paints that we used last year, so it kind of gives you some more uses for that. And because I wanted you to have more uses for the Inktense, or watercolor crayons, or woodless watercolor pencils, whatever you're using, because I know some people might purchase a set of those, and I wouldn't get the biggest set. I would probably get like the 24 or the 36 set, because some of the colors are just so similar. You don't need the 72 set unless you want backups, really. I did some tags where we used Inktense to stamp, which I know I've showed you before with watercolor crayons. I just wanted to make sure that there was like another use for that product, because I kind of want to start, let's see, did I show you one like that? I like to have a lot of different ways to use something, especially if you're buying something for a class. Isn't it awful when you buy something for a specific class and then, you know, it's fun, you like the class, but then you don't know what else you can use it for? So I didn't want that to be the case, and that is up right now. And next week, free Michael's class on the 16th. I'll put all this information in the video description. Oh, and I have a coupon code for going back to the Hand Painted Holiday. My gosh, I am kind of awful at the whole self-promotion thing, because we're 17, 18 minutes in and I have like one paid course here, and I'm like, you know, I forget to mention it because I'm talking about rearranging furniture. Oh, I feel like my brain has been in a million different directions today. But I do have a 50% off discount if you would like to join Hand Painted Holiday. Xmas50, I believe, is a coupon code, but I will go ahead and put a link in the video description with the coupon code added. And I'll type it out just in case, because I would not trust my recall today, because I'm just thinking about too many things at once. The Michael's class is next. So next Tuesday, I think it's Tuesday the 16th. I will leave a link for you to sign up for that. That is free. We're doing some coasters and, again, mistletoe, kind of like that card that we did. Poinsettia. I am really getting some mileage out of these Christmas motifs. And a wreath. So there is a pattern that I would like you, if you're taking the class, I would like you to download the pattern. It's follow the link in the video description. You should be able to get the pattern right there. I don't think you have to, well, please sign up and they'll send you a link so you can join the class live. But you should be able to just download the pattern and get that going. What you want to do is have that either drawn or traced onto your wood slices before class, because we're going to jump right into it when we go, so we can get all 3 done during the hour-long class. I'm going to do the poinsettia last because it's very repetitive, so if you have to finish that one up on your own, it's very, very easy to do. and it should be a fun time and a great way to spend an hour, you know, before the holidays, chillax, hang out, food fun, friends, food friends fun. I don't know about that. There's fun. You could bring your own food or whatever. I don't judge. Oh, what a crazy week, right? I have no idea how this video is doing because I just published it, but I did, hey, I'm gonna give the people what they want, right? I got this, some new markers from Artify. They had contacted me, and there's the box. They had contacted me to see if I would like to try their new enhanced markers. I've used their markers quite a bit because they're upstairs on my fun art desk, the desk that's in my bedroom right by the balcony, so I often will just kind of like grab supplies and go out to the balcony and create, or I'll sit there and I'll look out the balcony when the sliding door, French doors. And so I have that set of markers there because it's a really good comprehensive assortment of colors. I did a lot of my Inktober sketches with those markers, and I'm very familiar with those. And they said they are coming out with enhanced markers, and they want to know if I'd like to review them, give some feedback and whatnot. And so I said sure. And when I opened the box, I could see that it was kind of like wrapped up all fancy. So I'm like, oh, I'll do an unboxing. People will enjoy that. And so I colored some of these little deer on, I'll turn that down again. I colored some of these deer during the unboxing, and they worked pretty well. They're kind of fun. So anyways, that just posted if you're curious about those markers. And I'm going to compare them with their brush counterparts and do like freehand artwork too. But so far so good. They worked really well with coloring these little stamped deer. I have an idea of and a lot of people in Maine actually say idea. They'll put like, it's funny because we drop R's and then we add them in where they never were to begin with. That's the Maine accent. So I have an idea to do a vintage, like Christmas card, kind of like Rudolph, the 60s, you know, the Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer claymation type aesthetic, and I thought some pastel deer would look really cute in that, so I colored those deer for that, and I colored the color chart. I did that last night. I watched West Side Story, that was on TV, and I really want to see the new Steven Spielberg one. He has done West Side Story, and it's coming out next month, so I think I'm going to go to the movie theater and see that. I think that's going to be fun. That's going to be totally worth, you know, a $20 bucket of popcorn investment to watch that movie, I think. And I'm really curious to see what Steven Spielberg is going to do because I know I've seen clips from West Side Story. I don't think I've ever sat through the entire thing. So I did that yesterday. I sat through the whole movie. And it was good, but it was kind of, you know, parts of it was a little, I don't want to say cheesy, but cheesy. Not cheesy like bad. It's just like, you know, it's just cheesy because of what we're used to now and what the musicals back in the 50s, 60s, you know, what they were capable of and what movies are capable of now. So I'm curious to see like how it will be. But I did hear that he went like, I guess, pretty religiously to the script. So I'll be really curious. I mean, I would think there's going to be some like, you know, some more dramatic drama. I think everybody in West Side Story in the movie did a great job. I think that was, I mean, Natalie Wood and, oh my gosh, I'm having a total, Rita, oh shoot, I'm having a complete brain cramp here. Morano? I love her. She was always on like Electric Company and Sesame Street and stuff like that when I was a kid. And all the other, I don't know any of the other actors that were in there, but they did a great job. They're very talented, but you know, definitely had a certain like had like a theatrical feel to it. Whereas I bet this is going to feel a little grittier. I bet with Steven Spielberg it'll be grittier and more dramatic. Who knows, maybe dinosaurs, you never know. Well, I'm pretty sure there won't be. But I'm looking forward to that. The music is so catchy, you know, the music is just so catchy that, you know, you're singing that for days once you watch it. So I'm looking forward to that. Rita Morano, that's it, right? Yeah. Yeah, so good. So it's so good, a little bit cheesy, but I still enjoyed it. But it's cheesy just like every movie from the 50s is a little cheesy if you watch it now. Like I love The Music Man. That probably was that from the 50s? I don't know. That's another one. That's a good one to see live. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't looked forward to like going to the movies in a long time. I've been like maybe once since the pandemic, and it was okay. But that one I think would be really worth seeing in the theaters. So what else? I have no notes today. As usual. Well, sometimes I do. But yeah, just playing life by ear as usual. I'm still reading that Death of the Artist book. It's kind of frustrating and it's kind of nihilistic, I think. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm recommending it. I don't know really. I'm in agreement in some of the things that the author says, but not in all things. And part of it is a little condescending, to be frank. And I don't know if I want to recommend it because is it dark? Is dark the right word? I think it's kind of realistic, but I also think that it's unnecessarily dour and dark and nihilistic. Nihilistic, that's like the best description for that book. But I'm going to finish it because I'm almost done, and I'm just hoping there's going to be this like, but look on the bright side, folks, you know, at the end. I'm not really expecting that's what's going to happen, but I'm hoping that something does like that, because I mean, I know a lot of people that are making their living in the arts, and I'm sure by this author's definition, I'm not a real artist. I'm sure a lot of my friends aren't either, which, you know, there's kind of like a little bit of an elitist bent to the whole book, I feel. It's called The Death of the Artist, and I will link that down below. I linked it in last week's Sat Chat as well. But I don't know. I know a lot of people that are making their living doing what I do, with YouTube videos, online classes, that sort of thing. I can identify with the struggles that he talks about, but I don't think it's all as bleak as he says. So if you are reading that book and you're, you know, feeling like you've made terrible life choices, have hope. Have hope. Come to Sat Chat. We'll set you right. We'll let you leave with a smile on your face. Go move some furniture around. Go paint some furniture. Hey, you know what? I painted on vinyl furniture, so with acrylic paint, so the textures match, and I think we'll be fine. I'm not going to mention the painting to Jason. We'll see if he notices. Oh man, he's going to be afraid to leave the house. What will she paint next? I don't know. Yeah. That's about it, I suppose. I've actually got a few reviews coming up. I've got a review on a pencil sharpener that's been working really well for me and taking my pencils from the skinnier budget ones all the way up to my fat Derwent ones, which is nice because that's what I've struggled with, finding an electric pencil sharpener that does that isn't super slow. I was able to retire my old one. I'm keeping it in case this one breaks, but because I find electric pencil sharpeners are just much more gentler on pencils. So that's coming out on Monday. And yeah, I'm kind of working on reviews, trying to get them done so people have time to order things for the holidays if they were looking for particular products. And I'm thinking about doing a gift guide as well because it's so hard to choose. There's so much junk out there. There's good stuff too, but it's hard to know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Sat Chat. Let me know what you're up to in the comments below. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye!